Hello, everybody. Welcome one, welcome all, and welcome back to the Believe in Iowa State podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Carter.
And I'm your host, Cody Vanzul.
Cody, welcome back to the show. It's been a week plus since we had that. We had a recap of the Big 12 tournament. Uh, I think with this coverage, it'd be better to go game by game. And I also just had a great time down there with a few of my friends that me and them went. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh,
Going
for
into
sure.
the yeah, and I had some great barbecue. Power and Light was lit. Um, and yeah, but yeah, going into that first game, Cody, I was sort of nervous, especially since we'd played Arizona State the week previous. I was wondering if they were going to hold up and have any type of resistance. That was not the case as Iowa State beat them soundly, 91-42.
Yeah. In this game, I mean, this was a continuation of that second half we had against, I've mentioned Arizona State, and I mean, what Iowa State was able to do, they did what got them really a lot of success. High pressure on the ball, turning teams over and getting out in transition, and Iowa State won the game 91-42. And I mean, there was a point in time where Arizona State, they had more turnovers than they had points scored. And I mean, that was just a good thing to see from Iowa State because we wanted to see like if they can sustain that for a couple games. And to their credit, they absolutely did. And Iowa State did exactly what they wanted to do. They asserted themselves. They set the tone in that game as soon as they tipped off, and they never let Arizona State into the game.
Yeah, and like everybody was in basically in this game was in double figures.
Yeah,
Um, Blake Buchanan had 17 points. Joshua Jefferson had 20 and 12. I believe the bit also Plata had like about 15 points in this game too. So everyone was going off in this game.
oh yeah. Looking at the box score, Joshua Jefferson did finish with a double double, 20 points and 12 rebounds, and he was basically doing everything for Iowa State. I mean, that's exactly what you want out of your All American. And I think what was it prior to the game, Joshua Jefferson was named to first team All American by the Sporting News, which is one of the major news publishers. So very accredited sports like kind of thing. I don't know the exact term for it, but it's like
Yeah,
a
sports
sports
publication.
publication.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, double double. Went 8 of 13 from the field, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, and yeah, that double double was really good to see. Uh, Milan Momcilovic, 4 of 8 from three, so got back to kind of like his game. Like he's at his best when he's shooting the three ball, and I mean he got a lot of good looks. Went 5 of 7 from the free throw line. Mentioned downplayed it. Only 4 points in this game, but he was like effective. Like he was an effective second big for Iowa State. Blake Buchanan, yeah, 17.6 rebounds. Tatum Lipsy knocked down three threes in this game, which I said if Iowa State's going to go far, they need to have their guards shoot enough threes, like make a couple threes. And Tatum Lipsy did exactly that, along with Jamarian Bateman, who made a three as well. So this is Iowa State at its absolute best, and it's something about Iowa State playing Arizona State that frustrates Arizona State because I think three technical fouls were called on Arizona State in this game.
Yeah, and I believe that Bobby Hurley was able to get a technical in this game as well.
Yep, he got a technical. I believe Pig Johnston got one, and then Jop got one as well.
Yes, I was there for that one. Basically, everybody was egging on Bobby to get a foul. It was the funniest thing ever.
I mean, it was a literal continuation of what we did to him in Ames, literally, up like a few days ago prior to this game. And and also speaking of Arizona State, Mo Odom definitely was eating his words after this game because in the press conference yesterday about this game, when he was asked about Iowa State's defense, and this is a quoting something from Alec Bussey of 24/7 Sports, he got a video. Mo Odom, in short, like paraphrasing it, of course, basically said that Iowa State's defense was not a challenge.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like,
Speaking of Mo
oh, he's
Odom,
gonna eat those words.
yeah, Mo Odom finished this game with 29 minutes, 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Went 1 of 6 from the field, 0 of 5 from three, three turnovers, and he fouled out of the game.
Yeah, it was glorious to watch that. After what he said, I was like, oh, he's definitely gonna eat these words.
Yeah. Oh, and I mean that's not the only thing that went wrong for Arizona State. Do you want to guess their 3 point shooting percentage?
I believe it was in the second digit. It was like 6%.
5%.
Good lord.
The only thing that went well for them were for their free throws. Went 11 to 12, so 92% for the free throw line. But the problem is they had 23 turnovers again. So that's 46 turnovers in 2 games against Iowa State.
Gosh, those are. I just that's insane.
Yeah. Uh, and I guess yeah. So I mean that was an absolute drubbing that Iowa State put on to Arizona State, and that was a good sign to see how we would look, and especially on that new court or whatever, the glass court that they had, because I believe that what was it the day before, Tame Lacey said he felt fine, but he was slipping and sliding all over the place. I thought he was going to
Mm-hmm.
tear his groin again.
My
Thought he was going to injure that
goodness.
again. We'll
Yeah.
get to more of like the core related things when we talk about the Texas Tech game, but I guess real quick, just give a recap of the first round games. These really didn't have too much impact on Iowa State outside of Arizona State Baylor. So Baylor lost to Arizona State. Cincinnati beat Utah. BYU put 105 on Kansas State, and Oklahoma State beat Colorado. So I mean that was your first round. I didn't really take too much away from it, but hey, you know what? For those teams that won, it gave them an extra day to have a chance to maybe make the NCAA tournament to win the auto bid. But we
Mm-hmm.
go to the second round outside of Iowa State's game. UCF squeaked by 1 point against Cincinnati. So I mean that game was essentially a playing game for the NCAA tournament because both teams were on different sides of the bubble. I believe UCF was on the outside looking in, and vice versa for Cincinnati.
Yes, and me and Cole and I were there, and our other friend, Wasabi. We all three of us went, and that this game was directly after the Iowa State Texas Tech game. Cincinnati was up basically for most of the entire game, and UCF fought back to tie it right before the clock ran out in the second half, and they ended up winning in overtime. It was a great game.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they had that, and then BYU took care of West Virginia, so they're on a bit of a run. TCU beat Oklahoma State, so they moved on to the quarterfinals, and in the quarterfinals, we had a mixed bag of things that happened. We had Houston and BYU kind of go wider wire. The spread was -10.5 or -9.5 favor of Houston, but BYU kept it competitive. TCU was very competitive against Kansas, so and Kansas squeaked by TCU 78-73. Arizona just blew the doors off of UCF as a number 1 seed should do. And then Iowa State does get a measure of revenge against Texas Tech. They beat the Red Raiders 75-53. And I mean, this is exactly what you wanted for a revenge game if you were Iowa State.
Yes. Um Basically I like look, if you watch the beginning of this game, it was basically, oh no, here we go again. Iowa State started this game down 13-2. I believe they started off 3 of 6 from three. They hit it three threes in the first 4 minutes. When they were down at the under four, they were down 13-2, and I was like, man, here we go again with this BS. I'm like, we didn't learn from this again. And
Mm-hmm.
for the rest of that game, Iowa State went on a. I'll say they probably went on. I'll say a 73 to. I think it was like a 70, like 60 something to.
40.
Yeah.
40.
It,
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah, after that 13-2 start for Texas Tech and TJ Altenberger, well, it was a media timeout. I mean, I think the Iowa State, the difference was they were able to to survive that storm What they didn't do in
Mm-hmm.
Hilton, they did here in Kansas City. They responded to that 13-2 run from Texas Tech with a 15-2 run in the middle of the first half, or first
Yes.
half, and then they, I mean, no, wait, no, it wasn't. But then they basically for a stretch from the end of the first half, midway into the second half, they held Texas Tech to 10 points. They
Oh yeah.
locked down defensively, and they just poured it all over the Red Raiders. The 3 point shooting, the 3 point shooting was there for Iowa State, so we were able to match Texas Tech shooting, but we also were able to get inside. Dom Plata and Blake Buchanan combined for 20 points in the paint, and I think that was one thing we were missing from the game in Hilton Coliseum was getting inside the paint, and Joshua Jefferson was able to do that too. He had 18 points in this game. Don Plato with 11, excuse me, and Blake Buchanan with 9. But the star of this game to me was Taman Lipsey.
Yes. 4 of 7 from three, 8 of 12 overall. He was definitely feeling it. Um, and you know this game, Torrey. I think this is the game that Torrey really found something. Obviously he had 21 minutes in this game, 2 points. Um, and once he got like he was definitely playing defense. He stuck with he
Christian
stuck
Anderson.
with Christian Anderson the entire game. He stuck
Mm-hmm.
like glue. It was very impressive to watch in person.
Oh, for sure.
Um,
Yeah.
and
And another freshman at the shout out to Jameer Bateman, 2 of 3 from three. Uh,
yes,
and I mean, this was a really quiet game for Milan. Only 5 points in this game, 2 of 8 from the field, 1 of 6 from three. And you would think if he had only imagine telling someone that Milan Momcilovic only scored 5 points, just give him that. Just tell him that Milan Momcilovic went 1 of 6 from three. You would have thought our 3 point shooting was like as bad as the Arizona game in Tucson.
yeah,
But we had somebody step up, and Taman Lipsey did that job, and that's what I wanted to see. Is like see the guards like improve their play, and they did exactly that. So really nice to see. And I mean, I alluded this earlier. I mean, Texas Tech. I mean, they lost this game, but they lost more than just this game because boy, oh boy, they got hit with the injury bug in this game.
yeah. I believe Christian Anderson went out with a groin injury.
Yeah, him, Lawan Watts, and I
Yeah,
think it was Jalen Petty. Well, somebody actually it might have been Bamboya or somebody because Texas Tech by the end of this game had 3 guys leave due to injury, and I think it all
it
happened.
was
What did it all
crazy.
happen within like a 2 minute span?
Yes, it was nuts,
So, and I
man.
mean that cost
I've
them.
never seen anything like
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and I mean Christian Anderson if he's out for this, like it's one thing to deal with JT Toppin being out, and they were able to find a way to win. But you cannot lose Christian Anderson if you're Texas Tech.
Yeah, no, it's true. I did see today that he is cleared, so he will be cleared for the tournament. So
Yep.
they got him back, so
Mm-hmm.
they're ready, tournament
Yep.
ready.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah. So I mean, that Thursday was fun. You started off with Iowa State taking care of Texas Tech. You had Arizona just rub UCF. BYU lost a tight game to Houston, and then Kansas squeaks out with the win against TCU. So TCU is a dangerous thing to look out for in the tournament because they made it as a 9 seed. So potentially look out for them. Uh, so we go from the quarterfinals to the semifinals. Stop me if you heard this. If you've heard this before. Arizona beats Iowa State on a buzzer beater shot.
Yeah, I mean, and a guy that struggles from three has a career night from three.
I
It
mean,
never fails, man.
yeah, I mean, he and Milan. I mean, this game was literally just Anthony Delorso versus Milan Momcilovic because yes, Delorso did go 6 of 9 from three, but Milan responded. He went 8 of 14 from three. So those two were just going back and forth like two heavyweights in the ring, fighting for the
It
World
was a
Heavyweight Championship.
beautiful basketball game to watch
Yeah.
because you remember in this game Iowa State started off hot and was
Yep.
playing excellent defense with
Mm-hmm.
a 14-2 lead after the
Yeah.
first time out.
And I mean the things that went like the things that like Iowa State they made shots in this game. That's the thing. They didn't make shots in Tucson, but they played their defense, so you knew that if Iowa State could just get those shots to fall, then they'd be in this game, and they certainly were. And this was a back and forth game. Arizona went on a run towards the end of the first half, but then Milan Momcilovic by himself goes on a 9-0 run, including a 1 foot buzzer beater three at the end of the first half, and that was a thing of beauty. And I'm telling you, like I bet you somewhere Jaden Bradley saw that and he's like, all right, say less.
Yeah, man. Like I'll tell you, man. I was in the Power and Light watching the game, and
Mm-hmm.
it was littered with Iowa State fans everywhere. I was
Yeah,
going absolutely nuts in there. Like
dude. Yeah,
what an experience.
yeah. I mean, Anthony Delores. So yeah, I remember he was a sharpshooter for a time. Obviously, he hadn't done it this year, but I mean, he stepped up to the plate. So I got to give him credit and this Arizona team. Because I mean, Iowa State was able to do it, and I mean, this the ending to this game was the I dare say was the equivalent to the ending of the UNC Villanova national championship game.
It exactly
Be-
was that.
because North Carolina hit a three to tie the game like Taman Lipsey did, and that was a beautiful three. Unfortunately, it gets overshadowed because of another shot to win the game. Chris Jenkins equals Jaden Bradley, and I'm just like, you know what? I mean, looking at that play itself, there's nothing else Killian Torrey could have done. He played about as good a defense as you possibly could on that shot. I mean, that's probably a reason. Like that's a reason why he won Big 12 Player of the Year. Is moments like that. He made the shot.
Definitely, he did.
So, but
And
I mean,
I think I'll tell you this, Cody. The story of this game was Killian Torrey finding getting his confidence back. Two of
mm-hmm,
three from three, 5 of 9 overall with 12 points in 27 minutes. Gave some quality minutes. I think the difference in this game was that we had no bench points. Dominicus played and Blake Buchanan were in foul trouble the entire game. They got
yeah,
the bigs in foul trouble from the beginning, both with 4 fouls each. Jamarian Bateman 0 of 2, 0 points, and the only bench production we got was from Nate Heisey with 3 points.
yeah. I mean, but I mean, you had the load carried by Milo Antolovich and Joshua Jefferson because Joshua Jefferson, he had 21 points. He went 3 of 7 from three. So I mean, this is just a back and forth game, and I mean something about Iowa State this year having played in probably two of the best games in the Big 12. Big Monday against Houston, and then in Kansas City against Arizona. And
Yeah,
I, I think my takeaway from this game, yeah, I was frustrated we lost once again to a buzzer beater shot, but I think I came away from this game like, all right, I like our chances. I think this gave me more confidence that we can go on a deep run in March if you ask me. Because the fact that we made our shots, we were competitive against a 1 seed. Like Arizona is a 1 seed for a reason.
I mean, some may argue that they should be the number one overall seed at that. I mean,
Yeah.
we played them to the end, and I just think as a collective, as a fan base after the game, I don't really think a lot of people were sad that we lost this game. I think it just further confirmed to everybody that Iowa State is a
Yeah.
Final Four caliber team.
Yeah. I think we were all just more frustrated that we once again lost on a buzzer beater to Arizona.
Yeah,
And
that's
th-
exactly what it
that's
was.
that's gonna that's gonna be the thing that irks me. It's like, what is up with us in constant like we have now lost them twice in 2 years to a buzzer beater shot. Yes, the Caleb Love shot sent it to overtime, but every Iowa State fan, everybody knew that once he made that shot, Arizona was winning that game. Like, there's no way they don't win that game after that shot.
Well, see, here's how I see it, man. Like, I for sure thought that if we would have made it to overtime, that we definitely would have won in
We would have
overtime.
found a way to put away Arizona.
Yes.
We would have exercised those demons. But at last, Arizona just made the extra play, and they proved that. I mean, and they went on to the championship, and then uh, this game was not competitive at all. Houston against Kansas. This game was not competitive.
Not at all. Houston wins 69-47.
Nice. And Houston, they shot like this is the shots for them. This is them from the field. They went 41% from the field, 79% from the free throw line, but 55% from three.
My goodness.
Remember we talked about like Houston like isn't usually a team that like really shoots the three ball. Uh,
Yeah,
Chris Senek Jr., Kingston Flemings, and Emmanuel Sharp were on point in this game.
they sure
Both
were.
Chris Senek Jr., Kingston Flemings 3 of 4 from three, Emmanuel Sharp 3 of 6 from three, and I mean they just could not be stopped from the perimeter, and Kansas could not answer at all. Darren Peterson ended this game with only 14 points. Um, this was just outside of him, nobody from Kansas scored double-digit points.
Yeah, it was a struggle for KU, and basically, it's just been the story of this season. Um,
Hmm.
they've been consistently inconsistent. That I think
Yep.
that's just the story of KU this year.
Yeah. Yep. And then that set up the championship game again for Arizona against Houston. Two relative newcomers to the conference, mind you. And they
Hmm.
have officially taken over this conference. Arizona wins the Big 12 tournament title 79-74. This game was never in doubt for Arizona. They held the lead at halftime and they just never let up.
Yeah, although Houston had that amazing 14-0 run to bring it to within a basket, Arizona was able to pull away, and like you said, they are the regular season and tournament champions. So,
So they sweep the
uh,
conference.
so they swept the conference, and as we go into Selection Sunday, which was yesterday,
Yep.
Arizona. As I share my screen, we are now going to go into our bracket breakdown. So this is
Yep.
what you guys have all been waiting for. Obviously, this is something what I've been waiting for. But here is a bracket for you. We're gonna just do our whole breakdown, region by region. First, we're gonna start on the top left corner as Duke, the number one overall seed, will start. Well, actually, let's look at the first four.
The first
Actually,
four. Yep. So as mentioned, Tyler mentioned, Duke is the number one overall seed. They are in the East region. Arizona is the number two overall seed, and they're in the number one seed in the West. Michigan is the number three overall, and Florida gets that last number one seed there in the South. Michigan in the Midwest. But yeah, go to the first four. Real quick, these will be in Dayton, and I for some reason I just love watching these because I'm like, hey, you know what? This is March Madness basketball. I don't care. It's the first four. It's March. Once we get in here, I'm here for it. So in the first four, we have UMBC versus Howard. UMBC, I believe they won the America East Conference, if I remember that correctly.
yes.
And then Howard, which I can't remember which conference they
Howard
won,
is
but
in
they
the
won,
Howard's in the MEAC.
and so they won the MEAC. So both teams won their respective conference games tournaments. So they are in the first four, and they will be taking so their matchup. I believe they will take on. So the winner of that game, if I look at my
The
bracket,
winner
I
of
believe.
UMBC Howard will play Michigan,
Yep.
and yeah,
So that game, I mean, you know, I'm just excited. Like for this one, I don't know if I really have that much stock in it, but you know what? I'm leaning UMBC. Can they do it again?
can they do it again? And once we get to that game, fun. I have a fun fact for when we talk about Virginia.
Yep. We and then going from left to right, Texas as the last team in will take on NC State. And the winner of that game, if I take a look, will take on BYU in the West region. Something about NC State, they just live to be an 11 seed. The last three tournaments they've been an 11 seed.
Yeah, it's been
I
very
mean,
pretty
hey,
impressive by them.
I mean that's consistency. So I can respect that. But hey, you know what? If they can make it to the final four as an 11 seed, they're like, why not do it again?
You want to watch me do it again? That's exactly what they're saying.
Exactly. Yep. And then the other 16 seed, that will be determined between Prairie View and Lehigh. The winner of that game will take on Florida. And then this one, a little bit of controversy for this one. Miami of Ohio, 31-1 on the year. Their only loss being in their conference tournament against UMass. takes on SMU in the first four, and then the winner of this game, let's see, will be facing up against. If I look like, you see it on there, trying to see who they
Oh,
would face off.
yeah, the winner will face off against
Oh, I think it's in the Midwest. It's in the Midwest region, I believe. So they would be
it's
taking on.
Tennessee, the
Oh,
Volunteers. Tennessee.
okay. So I mean, that first four, you know, maybe mine will have maybe for them it's time to prove themselves. They do belong in the tournament, so you know what? A lot of controversy for them saying like they were even playing the first four after the year that they had. But I mean, you know what? I mean, me personally, it's kind of messed up that they are in the first four. There shouldn't be a reason. Because I mean, it's really impressive, regardless of who you play, to only have one loss in the year.
Well, I think what helps them is that VCU did not win the A10 because I
Right?
believe if they would have won the A10, then they
Miami of
wouldn't
Ohio
have
would have been
made.
knocked out.
Yes, which is insane to me.
Yeah, because yeah. So I mean, that's crazy in itself. But they are technically in the tournament. I'm take, so they were in the tournament. I'm taking a look at who did. Yeah, let's see. VCU. Oh yeah, VCU did. No, they did win the A10.
Oh yeah, I think I believe if Dayton would have won the Big Ten,
Or
then they
the
wouldn't have made
A10.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
if Dayton
Wait,
would have made
Dayton to the Big Ten. We're starting the campaign.
it.
Might have to kick out Penn State at this point.
And have
But yeah,
them be what's his
the
name again?
A10 in basketball. Yeah. But that's the first four. I mean, we can start in the East region. So, number one Duke will take on Siena. Ohio State's the 8th seed will take on number 9 TCU. Number 5 St. John's, the Big East champions, will take on the Missouri Valley champions, Northern Iowa. Shout out Ben Jacobson and company. Kansas will take on Cal Baptist in the 4-13 matchup. Your 6-11 matchup is Louisville against South Florida. Three seed, the East, Michigan State will take on the Summit League champion, 14 seed, North Dakota State. UCLA will take on UCF in the 7-10 matchup, and the 2-15 matchup will be between UConn and Furman. And Furman had won the SoCon.
Yes,
Is
they
that
did.
the correct comp? Okay, so yeah, just wanted to make sure I got the conference right because I know they
Yep.
won the tournament. Yeah. So I mean, this region, I feel like Duke they kind of got screwed a little bit because the winner of that Ohio State TCU game can give Duke some fits.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people believe that TCU can make a run to this to Sweet 16 if they are able to knock off Duke because I believe Duke's top point guard is out. I believe for us for the rest of the season.
Yeah, he had a foot surgery. I saw it on Instagram. It was announced by head coach John Shire that Caleb Foster will be out after he recently had foot surgery.
And with the way TCU has been playing in the last month and a half, TCU could definitely be one of the many Big 12 teams that can make a deep run in March.
Yeah, and I mean Ohio State could honestly. I think the winner of that game has a fighting chance against Duke because I mean Bruce Thorn literally dragged Ohio State to this game, and you know Bruce Thorn like he got the scoring record for Ohio State. It's his senior year, it's his
Hmm.
final year, so he wants to have a march to remember. So why not do it by beating the number one overall team and seeded Duke?
Yes.
Yep. All those matchups will be taking place in Greenville, South Carolina on Thursday, March 19th. And then we head to San Diego, California for the Friday matchups in the East region. Number 5, yep, mentioned number 5 St. John's taking on the Missouri Valley champion, number 12 Northern Iowa. A part of me just for the meme just wants to pick Northern Iowa.
Yeah, unfortunately, if this were another 5 seed that I felt like they had a good chance against, then I would say yes. But this is the wrong 5 seed.
Yeah.
St. John's had like Edgefer, I think on the glass is going to dominate.
Yeah.
I think this is a 5 seed that nobody really wants to see.
Yeah. The only reason I say that is because there's the potential for Kansas to match up against Northern Iowa again.
Oh man, Vietnam flashbacks.
Ali Farouk Mensa is somewhere like his spirit lays somewhere
Oh
for
yeah,
Kansas seeing that they're like, are you no no no
Ali
no no
for
no
yeah, you mean Ali Farouk. Yeah,
Manesh, yep. But I mean, I think Kansas is going to take a Cal Baptist, and I mean, Bill Saul versus Rick Pitino. That would be a fun coach up matchup.
yeah. Honestly, I think the question for me is Cody,
Which can
what Kansas team is going to show up? Like, is it the Kansas team that we've seen a few times at home this year that beat Arizona without Darren Peterson, or the team that destroyed Iowa State at home? Because
or got
that
destroyed?
Kansas
Oh yeah.
or
Oh,
yeah,
Big Monday, like Big Monday
yes,
Kansas versus not Big Monday Kansas. That's the best way you can describe it. There's something about Kansas under Bill Self playing on Big Monday that they literally look like a national contender, but every other day of the week, ugh, not exactly.
because to me it's like they could either lose this game or they could make a run all the way to the Final Four. Like
Yeah,
I don't know what to believe. I know though I think they'll win this one, but after that I have
yeah,
no idea.
yeah. So outside of that, I mean, yeah, that's like kind of like your top half of the East region. Uh, I mean, going to the bottom half of the East region, the 6-11 match between Louisville and South Florida. I think some people are kind of high on South Florida.
I I'm gonna go with Louisville in this one. I know, like yes, South Florida is a high scoring team, but I don't think that they can defend. I think Louisville has more horses
Hmm.
offensively.
Yeah,
Whatever the total is, take the over in Louisville, South Florida. I think Louisville wins.
yeah. I did kind of pick South Florida for the upset, but yeah, I would definitely take the over in this game, whatever it is. Um, and then Michigan State, they're going to take care of North Dakota State. It's no
I
doubt. I mean,
agree.
even for how like up and down Michigan State's been, they are going to take care of business. UCLA and UCF. This is going to be an interesting matchup.
It sure is.
And I
Isn't
mean,
UCLA missing somebody significant?
UCF men's. I'm taking a look
Or I meant to say
here.
UCLA, not UCF.
Donovan Dent, I believe, is kind of the player. Like that's the thing for UCLA is will they have Donovan Dent? Because if they do not have him, I can see UCF winning that game.
And then to round out, we have UConn versus Furman.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, UConn they're going to take care of business, but I will say this: I believe if it's UCLA UConn, UCLA is winning that game.
I can see that, yeah.
All right. So I mean, yep, that's the East region for you. Kind of just the first round previews. Kind of the first round preview. And I guess we could just go ahead. I mean, I would have Duke. Let's see. We have Duke advance to Sweet 16. They go up against. I would go St. John's, and then it'd be. Are you going Michigan State or Louisville?
Michigan State.
Same. And then yeah, I mentioned UCLA going to the Sweet 16 in the East.
Yeah, I have my Sweet 16 is Michigan State, UConn, and Duke versus St. John's. And then my Elite Eight, I have Duke versus Michigan State.
I was kind of bold and said Northern Iowa going to the Sweet 16 to take on Duke.
Hey, if it
I
pulls
actually
that way, it could happen.
yeah, I think Northern Iowa can find a way because if they play the way they did in Arch Madness, that's a real possibility. Trey Campbell and Ben Jacobs and company, especially Trey Campbell. I'm believing in I'm believing Northern Iowa. I know
If
I'm a
they're
Drake
able
fan
to,
and I hate to
yeah,
see that, but you know what? It's March Madness. Anything can happen, and I really think Northern Iowa matchup against Kansas. It's gonna be Trey Campbell being the reincarnation Ali Farooq Mensah.
yeah.
It,
I mean, look, bro. If they can dictate the tempo, because that's what Northern Iowa wants to do, and play a slower
mm-hmm,
type of game, and can somehow like win the battle on the glass, it's gonna be hard to do against Eschifer and
mm-hmm.
on their big front line. I mean, yeah, Northern I could say I could see a way where Northern I could make a run to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, All right, so we're gonna head from the East region to the West region. Arizona taking on Long Island. Fins up, but sorry,
Fins up.
Long Island. Uh, Arizona's gonna run away with this game, and then I'm gonna have Utah State take out Villanova. Seeing Utah State. I really it might be on my bucket list. So like, there's only one reason I'd ever go to Logan, Utah, and it's go check out a Utah State game.
Right.
Yep. And then Wisconsin High Point take the over in this game. Smash the over in this game.
Facts.
These are two high powered offenses, and it doesn't matter who was this game. A lot of points going to be scored. Arkansas against Hawaii. Um, that one. I I think a conventional thought, like my gut says, like there's something about Hawaii. I'm just like, you know what, Rainbow Warriors are winning this game. BYU taking on NC State or Texas. BYU is probably gonna play NC State, and they're gonna win that game. Gonzaga's gonna take care of Kennesaw State. Miami is gonna beat Missouri, and then Purdue is gonna beat Queens. That's kind of my first round
I don't
matchup.
know, man. I don't know. Missouri is basically going to be playing a home game in St. Louis.
Yeah, you
So
got a
I
good point though.
mean,
Uh,
I like if you are like upset minded, you can see Missouri just based on the facts that they can make a run. And with the way Purdue has been this year, even though they won the Big Ten conference tournament, you could see it was a way where Purdue loses in the round of 32. But I don't have Purdue losing in that my personal bracket. We're gonna go
yes.
after that after we preview all these. We're gonna do and give our thoughts on that. So,
Yep.
but yeah, I
Yep.
guess what are some matchups that intrigue you in the West? In the West,
Whew. If it happens to the Sweet 16, give me Arizona, Wisconsin.
yes, man. I mean, Wisconsin's offense versus just Arizona's front line and just their guards. That would be an interest. And Wisconsin has
Yeah.
two great guards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Blackwell and Boyd. One of my close buddies. He loves like those two on Wisconsin. So I
Yeah,
mean, if Wisconsin gets hot, they could go to the Elite Eight.
I can
I
see
think they
that.
could. Yeah, if they get hot at this time, they could potentially be upset in mind against Arizona. So that could be a possibility. But I mean, another team that could go on a run is BYU. If the Bansa, he's gonna literally drag BYU to the Elite Eight if it falls that way.
Bro, I'm
Because
saying, man, you can see it. I can see it.
yeah, yeah. So I mean that would be kind of the West region. I mean it's Arizona's to lose certainly, but I mean if they match up against BYU in the Elite Eight, I don't know, man. I mean BYU's been competitive with Arizona, and I mean there's an old saying that it's hard to beat a team three times in the
I'm
same
telling
year.
you. I'm telling you, man.
Like this is an opportunity for AJ DeBanza to go on a legacy run in March.
And for Arizona, like you have to, this has got to be the year to make it to the Final Four. Like
Please, it's
it's been almost 30 years for them.
their drought to the Final Four as long as our drought to the Elite Eight,
Yeah,
which is crazy to say. And I mean, speaking of Iowa State, we can head down to the Midwest region where Michigan is the number one seed in this region, and they're going to take on the winner of Howard UMBC. Michigan, I have Michigan winning that game.
I do
This is
too.
kind of chalk. St. Louis against Georgia. I like the Bilkins. Give me the Bilkins. Give
Give
me
me the
Kareem
Billikens.
Abdul-Jabbar in this game.
Yeah,
Texas Tech versus Akron. From what I understand, like in my limited viewing of Akron, they're kind of like a Texas Tech. So I'll tell you this: if you're in this, if like we talked about the Wisconsin High Point game, bet the over because this team, like those two teams, are just gonna chuck up threes, like it's the only shot that's allowed in a basketball game.
honestly, I think in this one is going to depend on which which uh which Texas Tech team shows up. Is this if it's the one where they shot at Hilton, they could definitely make a run to the Sweet 16. But if it's the one they played, the Iowa State they played
In
against
Kansas City,
in Kansas City, then they're gonna lose to Akron. Akron was the most consistent team in the MAC,
yeah.
going 17-1. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Akron is 29-5 for a reason.
Yep, and I mean they were right behind Miami of Ohio on the MAC.
Right.
Alabama and Hofstra. So we are recording this. after the breaking news for Alabama, Aiden Holloway was arrested and he is facing felony charges for possession of marijuana, and it was another charge, but that's a breaking news. Like that was breaking, and I know a lot of people definitely flipped their pick from Alabama to Hofstra. Me personally, I had Hofstra beating Alabama before the news
Mm-hmm.
broke, so I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I saw, I saw the vision before everybody
You
else
saw
did.
the vision.
Yep, yep. So I think a lot of people are going to be putting Hofstra to go up, get the upset over Alabama in the 4-13 game. The number 60 Tennessee will take on either SMU or Miami, Ohio. Who do you have in that game? SMU or Miami, Ohio?
I think Miami of Ohio wins it, but
Tennessee will
Tennessee
advance.
will advance. Yeah.
Yep. All right, so we are at and they'll take on the winner of Virginia Wright State, Virginia the 3 seed. And Tyler, you mentioned something about Virginia, so why don't you have the floor for this
Yes.
kind of
So
mini segment?
it's crazy that we talked about UMBC. UMBC is back in the tournament, and you want to remember when they beat Virginia by 20. At the time, the coach was Tony Bennett, and now and the coach, Virginia's current coach was UMBC's coach back then. So now it's coming full circle that the UMBC head coach is now the head coach of Virginia now, and Virginia is not the same Virginia, guys. So Virginia is not defensive minded. They like to score the basket. Um,
Mm,
but
yeah,
a lot has been put into question about if Virginia's schedule really was actually even that good, since the ACC really wasn't that challenging to begin with. So everybody's maybe questioning if Virginia's 29-5 record is really valid. Obviously, they hung in there with Virginia in the title game,
Duke
although they got destroyed by them
in
earlier in the year at
against
Cameron
Duke,
Indoor.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, they did hang with Duke, but yeah, I think Virginia, I think they're bound. Like I see them going to the Sweet 16. I like them over Tennessee. Tennessee's just kind of been up and down on the
yeah,
year.
I agree.
Yep. And then in St. Louis on Friday, number 7 Kentucky taking on Santa Clara. Santa Clara out of the West Coast Conference. And your 2 seeded Iowa State Cyclones will be taking on the Ohio Valley Conference champion, number 15 seed Tennessee State. Now, in this Tennessee State game, Tennessee State is known for the main thing I took away from them, seeing their metrics, was they turn you over a lot, but they also they don't take care of the basketball.
They don't, and that falls into what Iowa State wants to do. I think if obviously this isn't a game where Iowa State can play around, because this is a game
Yeah.
where Iowa State could lose. I don't think that will happen though. I think
Okay.
Iowa State. Look, TJ and Iowa State are very confident this year. He even mentioned and brought up the Final Four.
Yeah.
They know that a deep run this will a deep run for them will could be considered a successful season. So they know what they need to
Yeah.
do. I think they'll do it. And obviously we saw the spread now. I think is at like what, at up to 25 now.
25 and a half. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it opened up 23 and a half, and then it's been opened up a bit. But it is funny seeing, like, I love Iowa State fans. We found any reason to make to take this game personal, and it's because some people are like have the Iowa State being one of the being like a 215 upset. And we're just like, I love that from us. It's like we find any reason to get bulletin board material, but I mean, people have given us that. Some people are picking Tennessee State to beat Iowa State, and all of that is like one as the 215 upset. We're all just like, all right, say less.
it's just I think it's just look, and I'll tell you why. It's because it's because Iowa State losing to an HBCU, and as you know, Tennessee State is an HBCU. If you didn't know,
Hmm.
so there was an HBCU supporter that I
Yeah,
quote tweeted saying that, oh, Iowa State's going to lose to another one, and just everybody thinks that we're fraudulent. Just forgetting that, like 5 day like 4 or 5 days ago we went toe to toe with
with
Arizona.
Arizona
So now
on a
you think we're gonna
neutral.
lose? Yeah, like And now you
Yes.
think we're going to lose to Tennessee State? Get
Okay,
out of here
listen.
with that.
Like us losing to Hampton, that did not happen in my lifetime. I learned about that, but I'm like, okay, let's be real. It was weird that we were even in Boise, Idaho. First of all, that was
That's
when
what
my
I'm, bro.
Tori Taman tweeted that. He was like, "Why were we even playing that game in Boise, Idaho, of all
I'm
places?"
I'm telling you, man, it makes no sense. Not to mention, we're also defensive minded, and this team has a much better culture than the Larry Eustacia team did.
Oh yeah,
So
I mean, TJ Alsbergen isn't out here getting caught at like a U of Missouri sorority party or something.
facts. So like, I mean, yeah, no, I'm not
I
worried
mean,
about
let's be
that
real.
game.
Like if we okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna like say it. We're winning this game. Okay, we are winning this game. We are commanding this game, and then we're gonna match up. I'm gonna say it. Santa Clara can be Kentucky. Santa Clara can be Kentucky.
And I think and I think also this is going to be another popular thing because people see Kentucky, and I think everybody will get scared of the size and just the
Yeah,
potential of what Kentucky to do.
yeah,
But Kentucky has went 4-6 in their last 10 games. Kentucky
yeah.
hasn't looked good at all. They've been consistently inconsistent the entire
Hmm.
year.
Hmm.
Santa Clara has some size that could be a detriment to Iowa State, but I do think Iowa State is good enough. Like Plata and Buchanan are definitely gonna have to come and play,
Yeah,
but I do think that they'll be able to do that,
yeah.
and I think having
Also,
them advancing.
yeah, but I think the main like I don't think it's the size and length like the length of teams that beat Iowa State. It's teams that can make jump shots. It's teams that
Right.
can like make us pay for our slow rotations. Who can make the wide open, make the extra pass, get the wide open three, and make them. Those are the teams that beat us, and it also means that you're gonna have like really elite level guards, and I just don't see it with Kentucky. I don't think they have the guards that are the type that can beat Iowa State.
I don't
So
either.
I'm not.
Same with Santa
Yeah,
Clara.
and I know people think Kentucky like it's the name, it's a recognizable brand, but this isn't the same Kentucky that had Anthony Davis that won the national title with Calipari that went 30 like that went undefeated going into the Final Four about what 11 years ago. This isn't the
Yes.
same Kentucky from those years, the ones that I grew up watching, that were like my me as a kid. That's not the Kentucky team that this is. So for me, I have us beating whether it's Kentucky, whether it's Santa Clara, bring it on. We're winning that game, and then we're on to the Sweet 16. And I'm saying it right now. We're taking on Virginia, and I believe Iowa State can beat Virginia. We finally, for the first time in my lifetime, go to the Elite Eight.
Yeah, I think we'll be in the Elite Eight. As soon as we do that, we're gonna make our picks for each game,
Yep.
and
And
then
then
figure out our Final Four and our national
yeah,
champion.
yep. And then we finally head over to the South region. This is your Florida Gators region. So now the floor is yours for this region.
All right, thanks, Cody. Florida. The last took the last number one seed. Florida facing off against either Lehigh or Prairie View A&M. Clemson and Iowa is that's going to be an interesting matchup. We have McNeese State making it back for another consecutive year facing off against Vanderbilt. I could totally see McNeese pulling off another 12-5 upset. They beat Clemson last year. I can see it with Vanderbilt. But and then you have number 4 Nebraska facing off against Troy and Oklahoma City. Number 6 North Carolina Tar Heels face off against VCU. The number 3 seed, the Illinois Fighting Illini, facing off against the fighting Fran
Quakers.
McCaffrey's. Yeah, the
Fred
fighting Fran
McCaffrey and the
McCaffrey
Quakers.
Penn Quakers. A lot. See, no, I have seen people put this as an upset as Penn defeating Illinois. I don't know if that's going to happen. I could see it. St. Mary in an interesting 7-10 matchup. St. Mary's facing off against Texas A&M, and at the bottom of the bracket, Houston facing off against Idaho.
Yeah. Yeah, about Illinois Penn. Fun fact for those we mentioned Fran McCaffrey. The last game, and he obviously was at Iowa prior to taking the Penn job. His last game as the Iowa head coach before he got fired was against Illinois in the Big Ten tournament, and he got ejected from that game.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was like with 9 minutes to go. Iowa was only down like single digits, so they were in the game. But Fran McCaffrey picked up two technical fouls in the same dead balls period, and he got ejected. And that was the last thing. That was the last time Big Ten fans saw Fran McCaffrey in the conference was him getting ejected from the game against Illinois. So I wonder if maybe some of that is why they're playing into the pen potentially upsetting Illinois. You know, Fran McCaffrey loved nothing more than to beat Illinois.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, and also
I think yeah,
yeah, go yeah, and then you go ahead.
and the Clemson Iowa matchup is going to be interesting. I do think do have the Hawks beating Clemson, but I think they're going to get belt ass by in Florida's backyard because Tampa's not that far from Gainesville, and I think Florida basically in a home front of a home crowd, Iowa's going to get belt ass by Florida.
I mean, to be fair, Iowa fans are used to playing postseason ball in Tampa.
Exactly. So it's a
Yeah.
yearly tradition for them.
Yep. And then Nebraska. I mean, this has been the one thing that has eaten up Nebraska fans alive is they've never won an NCAA tournament game. And I mean, they've got a prime opportunity to do it, but some people are thinking Troy can beat Nebraska.
I don't see that happening. I think I have Nebraska advancing in this.
Yeah. And then I have VCU beating North Carolina. North Carolina's without Caleb Wilson. And I mean, North Carolina's been up and down. It's just their 3 point shooting isn't there. So I can see VCU. And I really have a second round matchup consisting of VCU and Penn. How about that?
That would be the funniest thing if Illinois get bows out in the first round.
Yeah, that would be funny. But yeah, I mean, that's just the bracket preview. I mean, we alluded to it a little bit earlier. So yeah, I mean, we can go down our personal brackets. I mean, I've got mine ready to go. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to go whenever. I've got it
Yeah.
loaded up.
So here, I'm gonna load mine up. I'm gonna go back and go to ESPN because I have that one.
Yep. So while you load that up, I guess I'll. Oh wait, yeah, you're there. So oh yeah, I have that. I mean, I've got mine, and I literally just. Okay, so this has been a debate. I know Chris Williams talks about this. Are you the kind of guy that makes more than one bracket for March Madness, or are you just a one bracket and done kind of guy?
Oh no, I'd make multiple brackets, dude. There's gotta be an emotional hedge bracket. Like
Yeah,
you got to. All right,
everybody has that.
so here's mine, and this is also for a one I put in for a bracket challenge. All
Mm-hmm.
right, so here's what I got. So I have Duke over Siena. I have TC over Ohio State. I have St. John's over UNI. KU over Cal Baptist. Louisville over South Florida. Michigan State over North Dakota State. UCLA over UCF. UConn over Furman. As we go to, and I'll just do the whole entire thing for the East bracket, and then I'll do the same
Yep.
thing corresponding.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have Duke beating TCU, St. John's beating in a battle of legendary coaches Bill Self versus Patino. Patino wins that, so I have Duke and St. John's in the Sweet 16. I have Louisville losing to Michigan State, and then UConn advancing. So Michigan State, UConn, and Duke versus St. John's in the Sweet 16. And then in the my Elite Eight is Duke versus Michigan State. I think that Michigan State gets is this is Izzo's time of the year. Izzo takes the Spartans to the Elite Eight. I actually have Michigan State advancing over Duke to the Final Four.
Mm. All right.
So yeah,
Yep.
so Michigan State is in my Final Four. All right, and I also here we go. For the West bracket, Arizona over Long Island, Utah State over Villanova. I have High Point upsetting Wisconsin, Arkansas beating Hawaii. I have BYU beating Texas or NC State, Gonzaga beating Kennesaw. I have Mizzou upsetting Miami and Purdue beating Queens. In my round 32, Arizona over Utah State. I have Arkansas over High Point. BYU over Gonzaga, and then Purdue over Mizzou. Sweet 16, I have BYU Purdue, and I think BYU beats Purdue, and it sets up a matchup for Arizona and BYU in the Elite Eight. I have Arizona advancing to the Final Four. As we go down in the Midwest bracket, Michigan over the 16 seed, St. Louis over Georgia. I have Akron upsetting Tech, Bama making it to have Bama making it to face Akron, Tennessee beating either Miami, Ohio, or SMU, Virginia over Wright State, Kentucky over Santa Clara, and Iowa State over Tennessee State. I have Iowa State beating Kentucky, uh, and then Tennessee beating Virginia. So I have Tennessee making it to the Sweet 16 against Iowa State. And then I have Michigan and Alabama. So Michigan advances and Iowa State advances. And then I have Iowa State edging out Michigan to go to the Final Four. And then finally in the South region, Houston over Idaho, A&M over St. Mary's. I have Illinois over Penn, North Carolina over VCU, Nebraska over Troy, Vanderbilt over McNeese. I have Iowa, the Hawks, and Florida. Florida puts belt to ass to Iowa. And then I have a SEC matchup in the Sweet 16, Florida and Vandy. And on the bottom, I have Illinois beating North Carolina. So we have Houston, Illinois, and Vanderbilt, Florida. I have Florida advancing to the Elite Eight against Houston, and then I have Florida making it to the Final Four. So my Final Four, I have Michigan State versus Florida and Arizona, Iowa State. And I'm, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna emotionally hedge this one, and bec- and I want and I'll tell you why. Because I'm going off of the theory that it is hard to beat a team three times. Iowa State will be on the right side of a buzzer beater, this time by a Milan Mantelovic three. And it and this is going to be basically a win-win situation for me. And Iowa State and Florida play each other in the national title game. Unfortunately, I think we fall short, but Florida wins the national championship, goes back to back for the first time since 2006, 2007. Um, and this is a team that I would gladly lose to. Obviously, as y'all know,
Mhm.
I'm a big Florida fan too. So this would be a win-win situation for me. Although
Yeah.
I, yeah. So Florida is my national
All right.
championship. Yeah. So
All right.
that's mine,
So,
and I
all
will
right. So,
share you so you can. I'll stop sharing so you can share yours.
yep. All right. So my turn. So my bracket's a little bit. So I'm gonna have to cue this up a little bit. Maybe you saw the spoilers, but in the East region, I have Duke, TCU advancing. They'll play each other in the round of 32. Northern Iowa with the upset over St. John's. They will take
Mm-hmm.
on Kansas in the round of 32. South Florida, I'm also upset in mine in the 11-6 game. South Florida over Louisville. Michigan State over North Dakota State. UCLA gets the win over UCF, and then UConn beats Furman. I have UCLA pulling off the upset over UConn, so they advance to the Sweet 16.
Ooh.
They will take on a fellow Big Ten member, Michigan State, in the Sweet 16, as I have the Spartans beating South Florida. And then I've got Northern Iowa going to the Sweet 16. Kansas once again gets terrorized by a Northern Iowa player, this time Trey Campbell. And Northern Iowa will take on Duke in the Sweet 16. And then my lead eight out of the East, it's Duke, Michigan State, and I have Duke advancing to the Final Four.
Okay. So what's your fighting for?
Uh, I'll get to that. About to get to the other regions. Have Arizona and Utah State advancing to the round of 32. Arizona will win that game, go to the Sweet 16. Uh, Swap your pick for High Point, Wisconsin, as I have the Badgers beating High Point, and then I have Hawaii pulling off the upset over Arkansas,
Rainbow
and then I have
Warriors.
yeah,
Okay.
yep, and then Wisconsin will continue the hot shooting or playing. hot shooting and go to the Sweet 16 to take on Arizona. BYU will beat whoever they play, whether it's NC State or Texas. Those two teams really, I think Agent advanced. This is time for him to go on a run. But and then Gonzaga over Kennesaw State, and then I do have Miami beating Mizzou and Purdue over Queens.
Okay.
Um, I am leaning Gonzaga. I think Graham Ike. I think Gonzaga will show up here and they're able to find a way to take care of AJ DeMonsa. Well, I mean, they're gonna let AJ DeMonsa do his thing, but they're gonna limit everybody else. So I think
Okay.
Gonzaga has more guys that can produce than BYU does. And then I have Purdue beating Miami, and then I mentioned it, Wisconsin, Arizona will be the Sweet 16 in the West region, and I have Arizona and Purdue advancing to the Elite Eight in that region, and then I have Arizona going to the Final Four out of the West.
Okay.
Yep. Heading down to the Midwest, I have Michigan advancing, beating UMBC or Howard. However, that will play out. They will take on St. Louis. I'll have the Billikens beating Georgia to advance to the round of 32. Uh, and then here's where some of the chaos happens. I have Akron and Hofstra both pulling off upsets in this region. Akron beating Texas Tech and Hofstra beating Alabama. And then
Mm.
and then in the bottom half of the region, I have Tennessee beating Miami of Ohio. Miami of Ohio will advance, but they're gonna, but Tennessee will beat Miami of Ohio, and then I have Virginia beating Wright State. I have Santa Clara pulling off the Senate 7-10 upset, and they will take on Iowa State, who will take care of Tennessee State and advance the round of 32. Then I have Virginia and Iowa State advancing to the Sweet 16, and then I'm just saying Blake Buchanan. This is a bit of a pull, but it's a Blake Buchanan revenge game for him as he came from Virginia. So how about that? And then I have Akron going to the Sweet 16 to take on the Wolverines of Michigan.
Oh
But
wow.
yeah, so I mean, I have that. I do like Akron's like consistency. I think that
Mm-hmm.
will be a factor in how they can get to Sweet 16. But they'll ultimately get brickwalled by Yaxel, Lenenborg, and the Michigan Wolverines. And then in the Elite Eight, it's Michigan, Iowa State, and Iowa State advances to the Final Four.
So it's gonna feel like 44.
Yes, that hashtag is going around. It's gonna feel like it's feel like 44. Beautiful. All right, and then finally to the South region, I have Florida beating. I'm gonna get out shout out to HBCU, Prairie View A&M. They're gonna play, and then so well, I mean to clarify, excuse me. Prairie View will beat Lehigh to get to face off against Florida, but Florida will win that game. I also have Iowa beating Clemson, Vanderbilt over McNeese, Nebraska over Troy, VCU with an 11-6 upset over North Carolina. And then I do have
Mm.
Penn. I shout out. I watched their game, the Ivy League championship game. TJ Power can match. TJ Power is going to have a legacy run here in March Madness, and they're going to take down the 3 seed Fighting Illini. And
Oh,
then I
you
have,
have Penn going to the Sweet 16?
yeah, I'll get to that in a second.
Wow.
St. Mary's and Houston will advance to the round of 32, where I have Houston advancing to the Sweet 16, where they will take on Penn. Nope. And I have Nebraska going to the final Sweet 16, excuse me, against Florida. And then in the Elite Eight, it's Florida, Houston, and I also took the Gators to go to the Final Four. So my Final
Okay.
Four is Duke, Florida, and then Arizona, Iowa State. I have Florida and Iowa State, also like you, advancing to the national championship, but I'm rolling with the Cyclones in the national championship game.
Oh my gosh. I don't okay. Cody, if we win a national championship in basketball, I don't even I don't I honestly don't know how I will act. Like
Dude,
I think I'm
you're
at
gonna
cry tears of joy.
you try to join. You're gonna instantaneously somehow book a flight up to Ames, and we're gonna go on Welch Avenue and celebrate.
I'm driving to Ames. What the heck? Like, oh yeah, I'm party.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
oh
right.
yeah.
I forget. Yeah, you're only like a few hours. So yeah, come on down to Welch Ave. We're gonna just go crazy on mugs, and I mean that whole week.
Oh
We're gonna.
my
I'm gonna hope at Iowa
gosh.
State. If Iowa State wins the national title, I hope David Cook cancels school that whole week because we could just party.
So
Okay.
basically, we're gonna make it we're gonna make it an unofficial visa.
Yes, the unofficial Visha. But I mean, I mean, it's a fever dream, but you know what? If there's a year to Iowa State to not only crack to the Elite Eight, but go back to the Final Four for the first time since '44, and finally, finally win a national championship in basketball, it's this year. I
It's
like their
got to be the
chances.
year. I'll say this, Cody. I'll say this, and I don't think that it's an unfair thing to say, but I think that this has got to be the year that they make a deep run. Like
Hmm.
anything less than an Elite Eight, and I know people are going to think that that's crazy, but anything, if we don't make an Elite Eight appearance, it's going to be a disappointing season.
Yeah, I think
I'll tell you that.
especially the draw. I think this draw is very favorable to Iowa State.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the only teams that I think really like they give us problems are like really good guards, but we wouldn't really see that until the Elite Eight
Yes. Like
because
every, yeah,
because it would be well, and even then the only team that has the athletic guards that can beat us is Texas Tech,
right.
but we
And
showed that we
that's
can beat Texas Tech. So
right.
and outside of Yaxel Lenenborg, I mean Michigan they've got really good like sides. They got Eddie Mar and Lenenborg, but the guards I think Iowa State's guards are better than Michigan's guards.
They're a lot better than Michigan's
They're
guards.
Torrey and Lipsy are gonna like. I mean, this is probably gonna be bookmark if a Michigan fan somehow listening to this, but Torrey and Lipsy are gonna eat up Elliot Cadeau. They're gonna pick his pocket so many times.
I agree. And I certain and this is sort of a revenge spot just based on the facts that in the players era we got disqualified before because of the
The
because we
the
would have
margin
seen
of
this in,
victory.
yeah, we would have seen this in November, but we'll be able to see this at the end of March. So
No, that's fine with me. Yeah, but I mean, it's March. I'm excited. But real quick, also, I have to really shout out the women's bracket because this also got revealed right after the men's bracket. The Iowa State women ended up as the 8th seed, and they're gonna play Syracuse in the first round. But you want to guess who their second round opponent would be?
unfortunately it's UConn.
Oh boy.
Oh
Uh,
boy.
and this is a women's tournament. So in the women's tournament, the top seed gets the host through the final four
Oh boy.
or something
Stores,
like that.
Connecticut. Oh god.
Oh God, I feel bad for the ladies.
I do
Like,
too.
I mean,
Thanks for
if
coming,
but like
unfortunately.
I listen. I'll say this: if there's a way for the ladies to pull off the upset over UConn, it's gonna require us to play like the 14-0 team that we were in non-con, the one that beat Iowa at home, the one that the one that had everybody clicking, everybody was healthy. Addie Brown was at her best, Audie's at her best, the whole team was at their best. So if we can get that Iowa State women's basketball team, we have a chance. I'm not saying we're gonna win that game, but I mean at least we'll make it competitive. So
So you're
and
saying there's a chance?
yeah, don't give us an inch to breathe because if they do, we'll find a way to make it pay. And that would be the craziest story if Iowa State was able to go to the Sweet 16 by beating UConn in stores.
Hey, I mean, look, their freshman year they almost did it to
That's
Cameron Brink and Stanford.
that's the thing that
So
disappoints me. It's like ever since that Iowa State has gone back to back years from going top 10 to like barely making the tournament. So that's the thing. That's been the frustrating thing. Watching the women's team is like they have the talent, but they just cannot put it together for one reason or another. But I guess the good thing is we do get them for one more year. Because Addie Brown, Audie Crooks, and Ariana Jackson, those three, and Jada Williams, all four of them are going to come back for another year because they're all juniors. So, I mean, I don't know. But, I mean, this is women's basketball. And, I mean, outside of the top five teams, it's just a mosh pit of, yeah, because there's a significant gap from tier two to tier one in women's basketball.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely in women's basketball there is more. There's a lot less parity in that game than the men's.
Yeah.
All right, Cody. Thank you guys for continuing to tune in to the Believe in Iowa State podcast. We appreciate your guys' support. Few games before we go. Uh, Make sure to keep up with what's going on with us on Twitter. I'm Tyler. I can be found at Side Tie Guy. If you want to find Cody on Twitter, it's not Tierney's Birder, but TJ's Ankle Boot.
I'm gonna
TJ's
have to
Ankle Boot.
I might have to Photoshop TJ Otzelberger wearing one of them along with the tight polo and shorts. Like, like, remember what Jay Billis was talking about, like them visiting Iowa State when we were playing Kansas?
Yes.
What was it, last season? TJ
Yeah.
just rolled up in shorts. It's like, yeah, that's very Iowa.
Yeah. Nah, it's very, very Iowa.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to continue to see what we're doing on social media, follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitch. Also, a lastly, a big thanks to our presenting sponsor, FanDuel. Make sure you get those parlays in for March Madness or futures bets on where you can bet on the winners of each region
Hmm.
and the Final Four.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of the Final Four, Iowa State on FanDuel is a plus 800 bet to go to the Final Four and a plus 1800 bet to win the national championship. So, I think that's a bargain if you ask me.
That is a bargain. Those are hella good odds.
So, yeah, if you're really like leaving in Iowa State, no pun intended, then yeah, those are really good value bets right there.
Yes, they are.
Please
All
make them
right.
separately, by the way.
Yeah, make them separately, bet responsibly, and as always, like the title, believe in Iowa State. And that is going to be the end of the show for Tyler Carter.
And Cody Vanzul,
This is the Believe in Iowa State podcast. Roll clones, baby.
go Cyclones. We're going to the Final Four. We're going to
Yes, we're going to the Final Four.